Just check my channel, see whether we're there.
Right. Oh, I got an ad. Somebody gave you a thumbs down already. Blasphemy.
Oh, is that one of your fans?
I don't know who. I don't know who it was. I don't have any fans. Nobody likes me.
Nobody likes you. Okay. You said it, not me. Just kidding. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's come up with that thumbnail. Okay, that's all right. Oh, damn it. I thought it came up with my brilliant thumbnail that I created just for this live stream. Never mind. So I'll just post the link out so people can start joining the chat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share it.
Cool. Yeah, I see all my fans already in the chat. That's lovely. It's nice to be liked.
The best thing to do is call them viewers because they're also other people's fans, right? Because they're not just your fans. They also enjoy other people.
Well, I never said that they weren't anyone else's fans.
It could be
I
my.
just said that they are my fans. They're not just my
It
fans.
sounds like you. It kind of sounds like you own them, right? They're my fans.
Slaves. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Right. We've got 15 viewers. Let's wait till we get to about 20. Was there like 30 when we were on your channel, Broski, for you?
It was like 30 or something like that.
Hmm.
It's because Broski's got all the fans. He's hiding them.
Okay, well, should have some more people joining because I posted it in the Discord again and there's been an announcement made, so I'll have way more fans joining the chat. Let's come and join in the party. The organic is Carnis party. Changed my mind, Logan Blake. So this is off the back of your live stream that you did about 2 hours ago, where you said that you've got some new data that's come out to say that organic can reduce cancer risk.
Yeah, well, there's new data, there's old data,
Mm-hmm.
there's all sorts of data.
And do you think that new data is necessarily better data than old data? Can we? I just want to get off the table first of all before.
It's kind of a blanket statement, right? So it depends on how solid the study is. Like, you build off of old data. That's how science works. You just constantly build.
Okay. So old data is still good data as long as it's like the study's been well designed and it's.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a blanket statement too. Like, old data is good data. Could be all sorts of reasons why it's not good. Like, one of the things I mentioned in the live stream I just did is 1/3 of the GMO research is done by GMO companies. So 1 out of 3 studies that you find online is done by the people making the GMOs.
So the study that you cited was this association of frequency of organic foods consumption with cancer risk, right? Findings from the NutriNet.
Yeah, can I read some of it?
Cohort study.
Yeah, can I read some of this this study here?
Yeah, so this is a study that says, well, you think it says, well, I mean, you could just tell me what's like, give me the overall picture. Why is this study significant?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's not just this one study, but this is just to add to the pile of studies. So it says a groundbreaking new study in the prestigious Journal of the American Medical Association reveals that you can cut your cancer risk by eating an organic diet. So this is published in JAMA. I think it was just published maybe 6 days ago, something like that. The findings are dramatic. In this study, they followed nearly 70,000 people. Those who ate organic food lowered their overall risk by developing cancer by 25%. So this is like, it's not saying anything about GMO yet or conventional or anything else. It's saying the people that ate organic, they had a 25% lowered cancer risk. And it goes on to talk about how 76% fewer lymphomas and 34% of breast cancers were developed after menopause. Then this is an article talking about the study, but you could see the actual study on JAMA.
I've got the study up on JAMA, yeah.
Yeah. So then it also talks about other studies in this article that I was referenced to.
So
but you could talk about that first.
This study, I've put it up on the JAMA website, and I had a read through. Now, from what I can see from this study, hang on, let me just put it up here. I read through the abstract.
Yeah.
And the results show that the absolute risk reduction, they calculated it to be 0.6%. So that's not a very significant risk reduction.
Wait, hold on. So 76% fewer lymphomas equals 0.6%.
So
I don't see how that adds up.
No, this is for the all of the cancers, right? Because the lymphoma cancer, obviously, that's less prevalent than like breast cancer.
Well, right? Breast cancer was also 30 something percent. So 34% fewer breast cancers.
Yeah, but you have to account for like the amount of time someone gets breast cancer in that group of was it nearly 70,000 people? Was it 70,000? 68. Yeah, where is it? So 68,946 French adults. So out of those 68,946 adults, how many people got breast cancer? Let's just go down to the results.
So this is kind of like what milk jar.
The most prevalent being 459 breast cancers, 180 prostate cancers, 135 skin cancers, 99 colorectal cancers, and 47 non-Hodgkin lymphomas. So there you go. So the non-Hodgkin lymphomas was less prevalent than the breast cancer. Do you acknowledge that?
So this is kind of like the same tactic like Milk Jar used in the debate with me when we talked about red meat. So if you talk about like red meat causing, well, let me finish here. Red meat causing cancer, or linked to cancer, it's a type 2 carcinogen. So if you go by the numbers, it's like, well, you got millions of people, but like only 34,000 got, cancer. So it's not a big deal. Like it was a type 2 carcinogen for a reason. Like this is in JAMA and it's a groundbreaking new study for a reason. It's not just like, this is nothing. Let's brush it off.
You have to look at the prevalence of the different types of cancers though, right? That's important to look at. Because if you've just got like a couple of people that actually got the non-Hodgkin's lymphomas, and then like 100 people got breast cancer, and then you're saying that, oh yeah, like you're reducing the risk of lymphatic I can never pronounce it. I don't know what that disease is, but non-Hodgkin lymphomas is reduced by like 25%, and there's only a couple of people that have got it. Then, I mean, surely you'd want to look at the sort of like whole picture, right?
So you don't think 25% fewer cancers in 70,000 people is significant?
Hang on. So those figures again, where are you reading those from?
There was almost 70,000 people in the study, and it said their overall risk of developing cancer overall was 25% lower. So you don't think that's significant? That's 1/4, 25%.
Well, I'm looking at the actual study. It doesn't tell me 25%. Yeah. I'm looking at the actual results.
You're looking at the full study.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the actual study, the abstract. Have you looked at the actual study?
Okay, I didn't know the entire full length study was online. So somebody sent me the short term one earlier, so I didn't see the full one.
Okay, well, I've posted it to you on Twitter, and I've also posted you another study that I want to talk to you about, which is actually...
Okay, so how are you debunking the study, though, that it's insignificant? You're just saying it's no big deal?
Well, because I'm looking at the abstracts, and I'm looking at the absolute risk, and the absolute risk that it's saying is 0.6%. Do you
Question.
know what absolute risk means?
I'm sorry, I got a question. Do you mind linking me the study?
Yeah, sure. Do you have? Should I put it in the Google Hangouts or do you have Twitter?
Just send it to me on Twitter.
Okay, what's your
Same
Twitter?
thing, Broski for you. Just send me there.
Okay, just one sec. It's hard doing many things all at the same time. Okay, so
You sent it to me on Twitter, you said? The full-length study?
yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oh, Logan, you could just send that to me too. Like, just pass it on to me, or yeah.
Okay, it's just you standing on a rock. Is that you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's me standing.
Okay.
I like
Are
standing.
you following me? Are you following me so I can DM you?
Yeah, I'll follow you. Yep. I'll follow you, and then I will DM you.
So Broski, you are like you said that you eat some organic food, but the jury's out for you at the minute. You're just on both sides of the argument.
I get the whole idea of what.
And you're vegan. You're vegan as well, right?
As well. I just like usually it's like I never really study statistics on like whether or not which one's better between GMO or organic. But usually it's like I balance it.
Yeah, but do you understand that when you don't buy organic, you're not necessarily buying GMO, right? You can just buy conventional. It doesn't have to be GMO.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on black beans in a can, like or that's organic?
Wait, what?
Like
this is irrelevant. I think we're getting a bit off track.
Yeah, I just got the study. I'm just sending it to Broski, and then
okay.
So you're asking me about what? You're asking me about what do I know words? You said do I know? What did you ask me? You said do I know the definition of something?
So yeah, I'm looking at the study. If you look at the study that I've just posted the link to in the results in the abstract, it tells you among 68,946 participants, 78% female, and mean SD age at baseline 44.2%. 1,340 first incident cancer cases were identified during follow-up, with the most prevalent being 459 breast cancers, 180 prostate cancers, 135 skin cancers, and it just goes down the list, right? And then, so the 47 non-Hodgkin lymphomas, that's quite low down the list, right? High organic food scores were inversely associated with the overall risk of cancer. Hazard ratio for quartile 4 versus quartile 1, 0.75%.
That sounds good to me. It sounds like organic's way better.
But then if you have a look at the end, it says absolute risk reduction. So the absolute risk reduction for cancer overall was 0.6%.
But
so I would say that that's not a significant absolute risk reduction for cancer overall.
Okay, so if you had,
I have a question. Sorry,
that's a probability that that cancer is going to happen.
Okay, so out of like 100 people, 6 got cancer because of GMO or whatever, right? That's like they're saying that's like the link or a probability of cancer. Sorry,
but do you mind if
it's not a significant risk though. That's what 0.6%. It's not significant.
I get significant enough to have this published study on it. They wouldn't put it up to.
Is 0.6%? Would you say that's a significant figure? Is it something to?
Well, you're also just kind of like you're saying the 25%. But if I change the study to what it actually says, and I just talked about the lymphomas, it would be way higher, right?
Yeah, but
it would be 76%.
The lymphomas were less prevalent. The actual incidences of lymphomas were way less prevalent than the breast cancer. And I posted you on Twitter, I posted you a link to another study, a larger study. Let me just go back to, where is it? Have you had a look at that? Because it's basically similar. So organic food consumption and the incidence of cancer in large prospective study of women in the United Kingdom. And this study was actually larger. Had actually 623 participants, 623,180 to be precise, middle-aged women. And
okay, that's less because this one was more than that.
No,
that's
this
just
is what,
a little bit less.
623. Yours is 68,000.
But wait a minute. My question is.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
So hold on, where'd you link me this?
Oh, on Twitter. I posted you the link. Did you get that?
I don't see it. What's the title of it?
I'll do it again. Hang on a sec.
I have a question. So the study that you linked me, is it only just referring to just basic foods such as like organics, or is it just referring to plant-based food?
This is yeah, that's another thing to point out. Logan study. Are you asking me about Logan study that I posted you?
Was this Logan study or your study?
I haven't posted you my study yet, but I'll do that as well.
Yeah, was this referring to plant-based foods?
No, not at all. No, it doesn't account for what kind of foods they're eating. No indication of it doesn't account for like whether it's animal products or not. So we can just safely say this: they're eating animal products.
Okay, I see it. I see it now. Let's see here.
So, Broski, do you want me to post you this study that I'm talking about now as well?
Yes. Yes.
One of the. So let me just. Oh God.
Okay, so you're saying there is little to none, right, in this study. It's not pro-GMO. Let's get this clear. It's not saying GMO did better or conventional did better. It's saying that this study there was not much of a change.
Yeah, and it's a larger study as well. Like it's significantly larger, right?
Who did this study, first of all? Because like I said, 1 in 3 of these types of studies are done by the GMO people. So who actually did this study? Does it say?
Not sure. Not sure.
I could look at it later.
Okay.
Let's see.
So basically, yeah, in this study, I mean, it says that, well, what the conclusions are, if you read the results, are you on it now?
Yeah, it just said little to no change, right?
Yeah. And actually, it actually shows that it came out worse for organic in terms of breast cancer risk.
Well, the conclusion is little to none overall. Right.
Well, no, if you look at the results there, baseline 30%, 60%. You just read through the results there. Hang on, let me just have a look. Yeah, so
okay, so but my point is, so far we have one study from you that says it's even, and then we have a study from me that says GMO or anything but organic will give you more cancer, right?
By 0.6% is the risk, the absolute risk.
I mean, you could laugh at it if you want, but that's what the study is.
I would say that that's insignificant, though.
Well, it's more significant than your study.
Why? I mean, this is
why?
It's got a huge amount.
Because yours is even
larger.
Yeah, but it's larger, but it says it's the same. And then there's another study that says they developed more cancer. And then there's more studies than that. Like I said, that's not just my one study. There's a collection of them.
Okay.
And I went through a bunch of them on my live stream there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have one study that says they're even, and then I have a collection of studies that all say that GMO or conventional or whatever, anything that's not organic is worse for you. And not only that, let me say this point here for people listening. Let me say this point here for people listening here. Scientific consensus.
How are you saying that it's even?
Read the conclusion.
So there's so that would say, point towards the fact that there's no significant way to say that eating organic is going to be better for you, is not going to reduce your cancer risk.
Yeah. So it's saying your study that you just posted, it's not in favor of things that aren't organic, right? It's not anti-organic. Anyway, could I say what I was going to say while you're thinking of what you're going to say there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you look at the plethora of scientists, cardiologists, anybody who reviews studies, does studies, and is a plant-based doctor, like you pick one, anyone. It is scientific consensus that organic is the way to go and GMO is garbage.
Based on what?
Every scientist.
Based on what? Can you show
studies.
Me?
I showed
studies. Don't. Okay. Saying studies doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. And that's why I went over them in my 2-hour live stream while you're watching. And I said, pay attention because we'll talk about these later.
0.6%. Yeah.
Okay, that's one. Again, that's one study. And again, it doesn't go in your favor. It's not like you did better. So let's move on now. And that's the only thing I got. No, when I went through Dr. Greger's page, he referenced tons of studies that I went through one by one, and I showed how there's more nutrition in it.
What kind of studies were they? Can you tell me what kind of studies they were?
If I can, off the top of my head, then they don't exist. Is that like I
mean, in terms
I don't have them all memorized.
Well, no. I mean, like, are they like randomized control studies? Are they like cohort studies? Are they like?
I could link you them one by one if you like. It'll take a while. I'll link you them one by one. I'll read them to
you. I don't need to see all of them. I just want you to tell me, like, what kind of studies would you say would be significant when thinking in terms of, okay, what should I consider eating based on this study? Like, what would be like an evidence hierarchy for you? What would be at the top
they had a study that showed that it causes like ADHD in children, and they had one that shows that it causes like neurotoxins and or it's filled with neurotoxin, all these things that are harmful, like to especially children. I would avoid giving my children that type of food.
What kind of study is that showed that it was?
Again, I could link them to you one by one here.
Okay.
I'll read the thing. I'll put a bunch in. That's what I was going to do in my video like today, but we went right into this debate here. All right, give me a sec. Okay, so here's the thing. While I find these studies, let's talk about something else, and I'll link them to you one by one. So why do you think fertilizer is unethical?
One sec. Right, so organic fertilizer, we'll get into that. Right, so organic fertilizer is basically 96% of the time, at least 96% of the time, is going to be from the animal agriculture industries. So the Holocaust industries, essentially.
Wait, what percent?
96%. So
where do you get that? Where do you get that from?
I sent you the link earlier. I sent you the link earlier on Twitter. Yeah. So from statistica.com, wherever it was called.
Yeah. So you sent me a link to a study that's behind a paywall that's only about the UK.
This study is from 2015 to 17, and I showed you the graphs from that study, and you can see basically the majority of the fertilizer is coming from cattle farmyard manure. So it's fairly consistent throughout those 3 years from the study as well. So about 50%, right? Then you've got the cattle slurry closely followed behind that. And then it's like pig pig slurry, manure, chicken manure, broiler litter manure, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's all coming from
what is wrong with manure?
Agriculture industry. And then you've got the bottom three. So you've got other farm that we don't really know what that means. It could potentially be vegan, not sure. You've got bio olives, which is another 2%. That's basically like, like it could be human waste. And then you've got other non-farm, so not coming from farms at all. So that could potentially be like veganic, right? Could be sort of compost, plant-based compost, but we don't know. We don't know exactly what it is. So you're basically taking the percentage of the ones that aren't coming from the. You're taking the numbers from the bottom and contrasting them with the ones from the animal agriculture industries, and you're getting 96%. And that is, it could potentially be more than that, but I'm just steel manning it and saying, okay, we'll just call it 96% of the time, based on the best evidence that we have, because I don't know of any other studies that are showing this, showing like the breakdown of the fertilizers used, right?
Okay.
So
can I ask my question again? What is actually wrong with manure?
Let me finish my point. So therefore, you can be almost certain with at least 96% certainty that when you are buying organic, you are supporting an animal holocaust industry. And the way that let me finish. The way that you are doing that is you are buying these products, and by doing that, because these industries, they make a profit from selling manure and the slurry. They cannot just get rid of it. They can't just dump it. They'll have to pay fines to do that. So is it vegan? Is it a vegan thing to do to give more profit to the animal holocaust industries? Or is it more of a vegan thing to do to boycott those industries and make the industries pay to get rid of their shit? What do you think?
So I can be pro-manure, but anti-stabbing. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's just shit laying in the field and you pick it up and it's not coming from animals that are exploited and killed for food, then sure. Like if it's coming from sanctuaries or something.
No, but why does it have to come from a sanctuary? If I'm not paying them to stab the animal, and then so everybody else goes on board with me, and hold on. If everybody else comes on board with me, which is what veganism is all about, and so it's like me, then I tell my neighbor to go vegan. He tells people soon we got like Canada's 50% vegan, right? Then we could be like, let's change legislations. Let's now that we got the numbers, let's talk about not putting tallow in dollar bills. Let's talk about not using this certain animal byproduct in the roads when we create the roads. Nobody hold on. Okay. Nobody just because animals poop does not mean you need to stab them.
Well, it's 96% of the time you're paying for more animals to be stabbed. Because
no, you're not. How are you paying for animals to be stabbed?
Look, I'll just
if you're not eating the meat, then they wouldn't stab them.
Look at the chart I sent you. This is based on the best evidence that we have. This is
okay. That's not what I'm saying, though.
Not 96% of the time, it's coming from these industries that the fertilizer is coming from cattle, like majority cattle farmyard manure. So that's the cow Holocaust industry, right? So when you buy a product, right, and the money that you're paying for that product is going towards the shit that the animal agriculture industry is selling for a profit, you are basically creating more of a demand for that product because you're driving down the production costs for more animal slaughter to happen. So it makes the products cheaper, makes the animal products cheaper, which is thereby going to create more demand for that product. Now we understand. We understand. Let me finish. We understand that when you boycott buying animal products, it creates less demand for animal products. It's the same. It's the same thing. When we boycott buying like alcohol that is filtered through, has filings from isinglass, which is like fish bladders, and they use milk and egg whites to filter the wine. Then we boycott. We understand that's not a vegan thing to do, so we avoid those wines and beers. It's the same thing for organic. It's the process. It's not a vegan method of creating the product.
Okay, so if everybody stops eating meat, drinking dairy, eating eggs, honey, whatever, there's no animal agriculture, am I right? They don't sell dead cows anymore.
Yeah, well, we're not we're not there yet. And
No, we're not there,
so Logan,
animals can poop without being stabbed.
Yeah, but that's literally not.
Just because they're using poop
that's not
doesn't
what's
mean
happening.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
what do you mean that's not what's happening?
I've just presented you with the evidence. I'll go through it. It's fine. I'll go through it with you one more time. So
I understood exactly what you're saying. You're saying that somehow when you buy plants that animals pooped on from animal agriculture, that has to do with stabbing them. That has nothing to do with stabbing them. That's a side thing.
I'll walk you through again. Okay. Right. So the shit that's coming from the animal agriculture industries, right?
Yes.
That doesn't just appear from nowhere. That comes from
you realize animals shit though, right? You realize animals shit and you don't have to stab them.
Can you let me finish? You can let me finish, please. Okay. So the shit that comes from the animal holocaust industries, right? That's coming from the animals that are being exploited. It's coming from the animals that are being put low down to gas chambers and having their throats sliced, right? Also, the blood and the bone meal are used as fertilizer as well. So when the blood is drained out from like cows, that's put into these big vats, and that's turned into the blood meal that can be used as fertilizer as well. It's also actually coming from the little ground up baby chicks that get minced up in those macerators you see on Earthlings and Dominion. That's used as well as fertilizer, right? That's all coming from there. Okay. And so when you buy organic, 96% of the time, you could be almost certain that that fertilizer is coming from those industries, and they are selling it. In actual fact, I can show you how they are making a profit out of this. I can show you videos, right, where a dairy farmer is saying, like, sometimes I feel like I just make a bit of milk on the side because manure, I'm making a profit out of it. Okay, I can show you that, and I can show you how these industries are making quite a big profit out of manure, actually. Okay, but at the very least, okay, if I just be charitable here, if I just be really conservative and just say they're not making a profit out of this at all, but they are just by selling their manure, they're just literally just lowering their production costs a little bit, okay, to make it more affordable for people to buy animal products. So it makes the cost of the, let me finish. It makes the cost of the animal products lower. When a product is cheaper, what do you think is going to happen? Do you understand supply and demand, right?
I do.
So when the product is cheaper, more people are going to buy it. And when more people buy it, more animals are going to get killed, dude. Do you understand?
Can I comment on what you're saying?
So let me follow up with that with a question.
Logan speak.
So just because I need your concession on this before we can move on. Okay, it's really important that you understand this.
Okay.
Yeah, when you buy products that creates more demand for a Holocaust, should you A, buy that product, or B, not buy that product if you have a choice not to, and there's another alternative?
You're taking a big leap there. You're saying shit equals Holocaust, and that's not true.
Well, I've just
one is pooping, one is stabbing. They're not the same thing.
I've just walked you through how it's crazy.
I know what you just said, but you're not letting me get a word in here. You're saying what you just said. Okay, can I? You talked for like 5 minutes. Can I say one thing?
No. I just literally
Okay.
I just literally told you how it's creating more demand for a Holocaust. That literally means more animals are going to be stabbed because you're creating more demand for those products by buying the organic, which is.
It's the equivalent of a bunch of people taking a shit and then the actual Holocaust. They're not the same thing.
Logan, I've just told you.
I know what you just told me, but you're not letting me talk.
Do you understand, though? Can you just before you talk?
I understood what you said. Your support. Okay, let me say something for a second here.
I'm going to let you talk, but first, I just want you to concede on one thing, okay? Do you understand that there is a link between the animal Holocaust and buying organic? I know there's not a direct link, but there is a link there. There's steps to it. Would you concede
There's a link to
yes,
the
or,
animal
yes
holocaust
yes
and the computer that you're talking on right now.
It's not really the same thing, though, is it? Because
Why? Okay, why isn't it? Why isn't it?
Okay, tell me why my computer is causing a holocaust.
Because there might be animal products in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there might be animal feces in my, organic plants.
Okay, so that is irrelevant because for one, okay, so I don't really have a choice. Like, there could be animal products in my computer. Yeah, there could be.
Wait, you don't have a choice. But to have a computer.
Okay, so okay, so this is just going to like regress into like no civilization. We could go down this path if you want. So we could say, okay. Don't have a computer, don't live in a house, don't drive a car. Let's just live in a cave. We can go down that route.
Or you could poison yourself with GMO foods, right? Same argument.
So yeah, this is getting a bit off topic though, because we're still.
Why is it off topic?
Because we're talking about organic and how it's carnist. That's what I've changed my mind. I think organic is carnist, and I can see a direct link to how buying organic actually perpetuates more Holocaust victims because it creates more of demand for those victims to be.
No, because if people stop buying meat, there wouldn't be victims, right?
Yeah, and people buy more meat because people buy more organic, which creates more demand.
So you're saying by buying plants, more animals get stabbed. I don't understand how that works.
Organic, not just any.
Okay, let's just take one person by one person. So one guy stops eating meat and just buys organic plants. More animals get stabbed.
So say again, sorry.
So let's just say me. I stop eating meat, right? And I start eating organic plants. Now more animals are going to get stabbed?
More animals are going to get stabbed than when you buy conventional, yeah. Well, you're going to create more of a demand. You're going to create more.
So now we put it on a larger scale. Everybody does it. Not just me. Everybody does it. How are animals getting stabbed?
Everyone does what?
Goes vegan and buys organic plants. How are animals getting stabbed?
Okay, well, I'll walk you through again. So I'll take it step by step. So when you buy, so 96% of the time. No, well, I mean, Broski, is this making sense to you? I mean, am I saying anything that's not making sense?
It's not making sense.
I'm just like, I feel like you're just talking over Logan. I'm just being honest.
Okay, well, I just
want Logan to hear. I just want to hear what Logan has to say.
Well, I mean, he's not understanding my point though, so I'm just clarifying my point.
Okay, let me put it in a very simple term. I stand here and I take a shit and somebody bags it up. Do I need to get stabbed for any reason? Why would I need to get stabbed for taking a crap? I would only need to get stabbed if somebody was going to stab me and eat me.
But see, Banana, he's created an option to where it doesn't have to be that point. You're just looking at statistics.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, I don't care. Like, if there was just little shit hanging around and you don't have to be stabbed for it by the end of that process from the factory farm, that's fine. I don't have any problem with using manure if there's no victims involved. Like if you're picking up shit from a sanctuary or something. Yes. I'm talking about what's happening in reality, and the reality is 96% of the time it's coming from the animal. It's coming from factory farms. Most of it.
But there's an alternative for that. But Logan here is specific. He's saying that there's another option where that doesn't have to happen.
Okay. So Logan, are you supporting that option? Are you buying? Are you checking? Are you like emailing the companies and asking where their shit comes from?
No. So here's what I'd like to say. So this is my overall stance. If you want to hear my actual stance,
I'll just ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my stance if you want to hear it. I'm going to answer your question. Can I answer it?
Well, answer the question. Yeah.
The way I see it is if organic, from what I've seen, I mean, you can link me to studies if you want. I'll look them over. From the plethora of studies that I've seen, organic is healthier. from scientific consensus from every plant-based scientist and doctor at the, hold on, let me finish.
You're going
At
off
the highest
topic.
level. No, I'm not. Well, let me finish my, okay, can I finish? Well, I let you talk forever, and
yeah, because
you're
I
not
asked
letting
you a
me
question.
talk. I know this is going to answer your question if you give me a second. Every doctor is saying that this is healthier, right?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, my Lord.
So it's okay. So it's healthier. Are you checking the individual companies to make sure it's not coming from factory farms? Then,
can I finish?
Well, I asked you a question. You didn't answer it.
I'm trying to answer it right now.
You're saying that you're saying organic is healthier, so that's fine. So are you checking the companies to make sure that it's not coming from factory farming? Then that's the question I asked you.
I'm gonna finish my stance here so you can understand what I'm talking about.
As long as you answer my question, though.
Okay, I am answering your question. If you give me a second,
well, it requires a yes or no answer, though. I asked you a question.
No, it's not a yes or no answer.
Well, it is. I asked you, are you checking? Okay, organic is healthier. Are you going to?
I don't even feel that I need to, and if you would hear me out, you would understand why.
You don't need to check whether it's coming from the factory farming industries.
If I read the label organic, can I finish and you'll understand? If you won't let me finish, what are we even talking for?
See, this is ridiculous. Why debate.
Well, because I'm trying to hear you answer my question, but I'm not hearing it.
No, you're trying to bully me into just conceding to everything without even hearing my side. It's like, this isn't a debate. You talk for 5 minutes, I sit there quietly, and then I try to say 2 sentences and you jump in and say yes or no. Like, that's not how a debate works. You gotta at least let me talk for one. I haven't even said my stance on organic and you're cutting me off.
Yeah, because I asked you a question and I don't really hear that you're answering it.
And I just answered it. I said, I don't feel like I need to because, and if you can hear the because, then you'll understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, organic, in my eyes, from my research and scientific consensus, is that it's healthier. So, if people stop stabbing animals, right, which is what I'm for not eating meat, dairy, eggs, and honey, and whatever else, then all we have left is just animals taking craps. Animals take craps in nature all the time on plants, and they grow. That's fertilizer. That's how it works, right? You can use artificial fertilizer but what I've seen, the way that Monsanto is doing it is way more unhealthy. So I'm for hold on. I'm for pushing the vegan agenda forward so everybody becomes vegan, the animals stop getting stabbed, and we eat organic plants that somehow we figure out, they can get shit on by animals just walking around, having fun.
Okay, are you against
permacultures?
Are you against animals being stabbed now for organic food? The way it works
Am I
now?
against them being stabbed now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I said I'm trying to promote veganism so people stop stabbing animals. I'm not against animals taking craps, and you're making them the same thing. They're not the same thing.
So that's fine. Yeah. So you're saying that vegan is healthier. I'm sorry, organic is healthier, right? You're not against just picking up shit and putting it on.
You wouldn't have to pick up shit. So if you had a permaculture, I'm against monocrops.
I'm just restating your position there because you told me your answer. So I'm going to restate it back to you, make sure I'm understanding it, if that's okay. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. So you said that, you think that it's healthier, organic is healthier. You're not against shit, picking up shit from a field or whatever, or from animals pooping, as long as they're not getting harmed. Right, by the end of it, right? Is that?
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I don't think you would have to pick up shit from what I would like to see is less monocrops and more permacultures. So therefore, there's just animals living in the environment that just shit, and nobody's stabbing animals.
Okay, that's fine. So so therefore the Holocaust doesn't have to happen that way, right? You're saying like if you have permaculture and it's all sort of like intertwined with like the organic produce and stuff, and they're not getting stabbed at the end of it. They're just it's akin to like them being in a sanctuary or something, and it's all working in tandem, hand in hand, right? Then you'd be for that, Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
And my position is I'm also against GMOs though too.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
So we can talk about GMOs later, but let's just put that to one side for a minute, because I just want to stick with this one point at the moment, not get really off topic, if that's okay with you. All right, because otherwise we're just going to go all over the place. And this is really interesting to me, right? The fact that when we buy organic produce, 96% of the time we are supporting those very industries that we are opposed to as vegans. And you want like permaculture, and you want animals to, like you want the shit to come from animals that aren't being stabbed, but literally that's not what you're supporting at the moment, unless you're individually contacting those companies and seeing whether the animals that produce the shit aren't coming from factory farms. Are you doing that? Yes or no?
Yeah. No, don't say this yes or no crap.
Are you doing that?
That's terrible. You're not going to be like, you can only say one word and then I talk for 10 minutes. That's not cool. That's not how debates work. So you're against. No, you can't do that.
So you're against the animal agriculture industry, right? And you're against factory farming, correct?
Are you against grocery stores?
Can you answer my question? Are you against factory farming and animal agriculture?
Of course. Are you against grocery stores? Let me ask you a question. You're doing all the grilling here.
I have a follow-up question. That's why I asked you that question, because I have a follow-up question. Because I really want to just get this point down to make you understand, because it is really important when we are supporting an industry that we are opposed to. Okay, so you're against animal agriculture and you're against animals being stabbed to death, right? So
yes.
When you actively are supporting those industries by buying organic produce, which is going to create more demand for them, you are doing the very thing that you are opposed to. Now, you're saying that you want to support the permaculture and the organic industries that don't perpetuate the animal holocaust industries. So then when I ask you, well, are you actually contacting those companies then to find out whether they are supporting the Holocaust or not? What's your answer? Are you doing that or not?
Do you really think that there is enough permacultures that I could go get all of my food from?
So are you doing that though? Are you contacting the companies though?
I just explained to you. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You cannot contact. There's not enough permacultures around for me to do that. So it doesn't make sense.
So
I would like to get my food that leaves no carbon footprint at all from a magical wizard in the sky. Gives it to me.
Are you contacting those companies then to find out whether they are getting it?
I just explained to you. It's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing. It's not going to all come from it's not going to all come from permacultures. It's ridiculous.
So I'll take that as a no. Well, yeah.
You can take it as a no. Sure, you could do one-word answers. That's a no.
So you're conceding my point then, like, yeah, with the 96% thing. Then that the majority is coming from animal agriculture, right?
Okay, can I explain something for a second here?
Permacultures.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay. So there's not enough permacultures. So yeah. So the majority of the organic fertilizer shit is coming from factory farms.
I wish the world was perfect. I wish I didn't have to buy my cat's cat food.
So therefore, then you understand then that the majority comes from the animal agriculture industries. So if you know that, okay, then
and not knives,
and you know that there's a choice. You've got a choice between buying the one thing that that creates more demand for the Holocaust. Then you have another option B over here, that creates less demand for the Holocaust. Which one are you morally obliged to choose, do you think, out of those two options?
Okay, so this is the equivalent.
Option A.
Hold on. This is the
option A, which creates more demand for the Holocaust, or option B, which creates less demand for the Holocaust. Which option are you morally obliged to go for if you have a choice?
I feel like you're just trying to talk and not listen to anything I'm saying. Can I say something for more than one sentence, like one word, before you jump back in?
I really want to. I
know what you're asking me. I'm trying to answer them, but you're just so like one word answer, or you don't get to talk. Like, can I talk for 2 seconds?
I really want you to answer my question, though.
I'm trying to. This is what you don't understand. Do you realize how many words you've said to answer what I've said, and then you're asking me to answer everything in one word? And you think that's a good conversation?
Well, I just want you to answer.
Yeah,
that
you just
question.
want me to just go with whatever you say. That's not how debates work. I'm not just going to be like, you're right about everything. Why would we have a debate if you just want to be called right through the whole thing? It doesn't make any sense. Don't you want to hear the other person's side? That's the other position.
I just don't want to hear like the meta, like you're being like, this is how you're doing it. You're not a very good debater, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear all that. I just want you to answer my question.
Oh, okay. So I asked you a question earlier. Can you stab an animal?
I don't.
Can you take an animal's shit without stabbing it? You said yes, so debate over. I win, right? One word answer. That's how it goes.
Okay, so you can do that, but is that you can do that where you know no animals have to be harmed to take their shit, but you've already conceded that that's not happening at the moment, right? You understand that 96%
it doesn't matter
the majority.
If you think that wins the debate for you, what I've said so far, then that's in your own head. But I haven't really got to say my whole points yet.
Okay, so I understand that there are options where you can not harm animals and get their shit and use that as fertilizer, but that's not what is actually happening majority of the time. And when we buy these products, we understand that that's not what we are supporting. The shit that's coming from the animals that aren't being harmed. We're creating more demand for animals to be harmed by doing that. So that's
okay. Let me ask you one question.
I'm going to keep pushing you
yes,
on that point.
Okay. Yeah, you're just going to say nonsense. Now, could I say one thing about what you just said? I'm trying to reply to what you just said, but you're not letting me.
Yeah, sure, but I just really want you to.
Yeah, you really want me to just say you're right. You're right. Now, can I say something?
Okay, so do you concede on that point then? Do you?
No.
Do you agree? You don't. Okay.
No.
You don't agree.
No, you just want me to say that though for your own ego or something. Can I just say something?
Hang on though, because if you're saying you don't agree, then what part of that don't you agree with? But where have I gone?
You won't let me say it. You won't let me answer.
Okay.
I'm saying no, but then I got more to say, and you won't let me answer it. This is like ridiculous.
So that must mean then that it's not the majority of.
You don't know what it means. You're not letting me finish.
Not the majority of animal fertilizers are coming from factory farming that actually harms animals. Is that what you're going to explain to me now?
You don't know what I'm going to explain.
Oh, okay.
You just mind read people, or can you let them talk? Like, you don't talk to everybody this way, do you? Do you let them say stuff?
We're having a debate.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Okay. So you're talking about supporting the industry as a company. That is a bad thing because they are the animal agriculture industry. They're evil people, evil company, right? You don't want to support them. So when you buy the shit, you're then supporting the people who also stab. So therefore you're supporting the stabbing. That's the equivalent of saying when I go to the grocery store and buy plants, I'm supporting this evil grocery store that also pays people to stab animals so they can sell meat. That is not the same thing. No, well, let me finish. If everybody bought the plants from the grocery store and not the meat wouldn't be there. And it's this exact same thing as if people just paid for fertilizer and nobody bought animal products, then there would be no stabbing. They would want the animals to be around longer because then they could get more feces, so they'd take care of them better. And then if they didn't, everybody would be vegan, and then so they'd make more legislation to take care of them better.
How is buying plants from a supermarket making more demand for animal products?
How is buying shit making demand for stabbing?
How is buying shit making more demand for stabbing?
You guys are just
so
it's the equivalent.
Well, no, it's not, because when I buy plants from a supermarket, I'm not actually giving money to animal agriculture.
No, you're giving money to the evil grocery store that supports animal agriculture. They buy meat.
But how? No,
it's the same thing.
How is it? It's not creating more demand for those animal products though. Whereas buying
neither is buying shit. What? Neither is buying the shit.
Well, no.
Do you realize that animals shit on plants?
How are you not getting this? I've just told you.
How are you not getting
how it is literally creating more demand for the animal holocaust to take place. More victims. The more demand there is for animal products, the more victims there's going to be. Do you agree with that? Right?
So you're saying because people eat, no, you're saying because people eat more plants, there's more demand for meat. That doesn't make sense.
Organic.
If nobody ate the meat, nobody would eat the meat.
So once again, I'm just going to ask you, first of all, do you agree that if you're creating more demand for something, then for animal products, that more victims you're gonna have more victims?
You're not creating more demand. That's what you're not understanding.
Okay, so I'll tell you why it is creating more demand, and you can tell me why you think it's not creating more demand after that. Is that okay? You happy for me to do that? Sure. Okay, so I'll walk you through.
You already said this, but okay.
So, and I can show you. I've been actually. I've got some slides I can send you as well with like some infographics, and it can really help you sort of visualize it a bit better. Let's just go for my slides actually, because they're quite handy. Okay, so when you buy a product and the product has been grown from a fertilizer, which comes from the animal agriculture industry, okay, those farmers are selling on their shit for a profit, okay. They are either going to do that, or if they can't sell it to anyone, then they're going to have to pay fines, because they can't just put it anywhere unless they, I don't know, where they're going to put it. Like in America, you see these huge lagoons, like these pig slurry lagoon. You must have seen You must have seen it on documentaries. None of this matters. Like, so if you're not selling it, you're going to have to get rid of it and pay a fine. So if you're making a profit out of it by selling it on, you're going to reduce your production costs for creating more milk or more eggs or more beef or more.
So you're against the grocery store getting more money. You're against the grocery. You're against the grocery. No, because you're against the grocery store then getting more money.
Wait, this is irrelevant. I'm asking. Stay on.
It's not irrelevant.
Logan, I've just told you how it's creating more demand. Do you agree? How am I not making any sense? I've literally told you.
It doesn't create more demand. Just because they have to pay a fine for dumping crap, that doesn't mean you have to pay them to stab an animal.
How
does that make sense?
When you pay a fine, is that going to have an impact on your net profit or not?
You're talking about the equivalent of a grocery store having to throw out plants and they lose money. And then, they also sell meat, so you're supporting the meat. It's not irrelevant. Why is it irrelevant?
When you have to pay a fine in your business, is that going to have a knock-on effect on your net profits or not? Yes or no? What do you think?
I just agreed with you, and I gave you the exact same equivalent as the grocery store argument. If the grocery store, which is also a business who sells meat from animal agriculture, has to throw out plants and they lose money, what does that have to do with stabbing animals? It doesn't have anything to do with it.
If you're making less money because you have to pay more fines, is that gonna in the animal agriculture industry? Is that going to have a knock-on effect on how many more animals you can breed into existence? Do you think? If you're not making as much money,
if nobody's gonna buy the stabbed animal, why would they breed more into existence? Then they're using more of their own money for nothing. That makes no sense. If the demand is this certain number and they have to throw out poop, why would they all of a sudden make more animals? It makes no sense. There's still going to be this certain amount of animals getting eaten in the world. It's not like they're going to eat. People are going to start eating 3 times more meat because some company threw out poop.
If the products are cheaper because they are able to lower their so if the products are cheaper because they're able to lower their production costs by selling on their shit, then you can have more demand for those products. But
they're already cheap as hell.
If they become more expensive because you can't sell the shit on anymore and lower your production costs, and actually you have to pay a fine, then I would suggest, I mean, I'm no mathematician here, but I would suggest, and my intuition would go towards, that's going to make the product more expensive. Do you not agree?
No, this is like a crazy appeal to futility.
What?
Yeah, you're saying, or like, oh, well, because they have this one byproduct and they have to throw out shit sometimes, that means more people are going to eat meat and oh, they're going to make all this more money. That doesn't mean more people eat more meat. It doesn't work that way. How are they going to eat more meat?
If the meat is cheaper, do you think that more people will buy it or not?
The meat is already cheap. You can buy a 99-cent cheeseburger.
Yeah, okay.
How are you going to make it 50 cents? And they're still going to eat one or two or whatever it is. Their stomach isn't going to grow. And stabbing has nothing to do with shit. They're two different. It's like buying plants and it's like buying meats. Just because the same business sells both of them, that doesn't mean more people are going to eat meat. That makes no sense.
If the product is cheaper, are more people going to buy it? Do you think?
Right. I just explained to you that so you could already buy 99-cent cheeseburgers. Mm-hmm. What you have to do is tell people to go vegan, and then they stop stabbing animals. That's the basis of everything. You can try to. You can also. Hey, there's nothing wrong with you believing this. I'm not going to poison myself and my kids and all these other things with GMO foods and everything. When I buy other products, it's really hard to tell when they come from.
And you don't have to buy a GMO if you're not buying organic.
No, yeah, you could actively, really go out of your way to seek out conventional things. And like you said, you'd probably have to call every single place, right? You would probably have to call, like, say this avocado here. It's got I look at it and it says 4046 Mexico. Do you know what they do there in their farm just by reading that? Any idea? Off the top of your head? No. So I'd have to call them up and be like, oh, what do you guys do? Like, and they're going to tell me. I'm going to get a legit person. I'm going to have to Google every single thing I buy. Like, this is ridiculous.
You could just choose the third option, and which doesn't.
What's the third option?
Just buy conventional.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what this is. I actually did Google this, and you know what it said online on the website? It said probably conventional. They don't even know. They don't even, the website doesn't even know where this is. And you're expecting me to know what happens at the farm.
So again, I mean, if you have a choice between buying a product that supports more of the Holocaust or another product that supports less of the Holocaust, which one are you morally obliged to go for?
It doesn't. So you're telling me that you only shop at places that sell fully vegan products? Which one are you morally obliged to go for, do you think? The one that supports more of the Holocaust? The same one as you. The same one as you. Exact same one as you. You do the same thing as me. You go to the grocery store and you buy food just like everybody else. You go into businesses. Yeah. You support businesses that sell animal products. You're giving them more money. Their price goes down. Then they can sell meat. Then they can sell meat cheaper. When I go to the supermarket and I buy plant-based products, that money is going to go towards more of those plant-based products. It would be a silly thing to do with supermarkets. You know, no. Like if you don't know though, you don't know. You didn't call them. You didn't call them. Let me finish. Let me finish, please. You can let me talk. It's rubbish though. But go on. Let me talk. Sure. Okay, thanks. Go ahead. Okay, so when you go to the supermarket and you buy plant-based products, okay, and that money you're paying that money in good faith for the animal product. Sorry, for the plant-based product. Okay, supermarkets and restaurants. They keep tabs on what they're selling. Okay, it would be really weird if more money was going to the plant-based products and they were using that money and creating more animal products where there's less demand for that animal product. That would be a silly thing for a business to do. Mm-hmm. So you're one of those. You're one of those people. You're one of those people that say Daiya Cheese, right? They sell some other product that's not vegan. You'll say I'm not supporting Daiya Cheese anymore. You're one of those people. No. Well, why not? That's what you just said. You said you actively go to the grocery store and you only support plant-based companies. No, I just plant-based foods in general. Like if it, I don't know, what's the company that I just plant-based foods in general, like organic vegetables. You mean? I'm trying to think of a company that makes animal. Like a plant-based food, like an organic vegetable. Like is it Amy's? Or the equivalent in this country would be Linda McCartney.
Like
Yeah,
they
we got
do
Amy.
vegetarian, they do vegetarian options, right? I'll still buy the Amy's vegan food. I won't buy the Amy's vegetarian food, but Amy's as a company, they're going to keep track of what products are doing well, right? And if they're seeing that more of the vegan foods are doing well, particular vegan foods in that range are doing well, they're going to make more of those products, and there's going to be less demand for the ones that aren't vegan, right?
So do you think they do the same thing with the amount of animals being stabbed? Do you think they keep track of how many people are actually buying meat? Yeah.
No. When the demand goes,
there you go.
When the demand goes down for animal products, they are going to breed less animals.
Boom. Exactly.
So by not buying the organic food, which is creating more demand for those
no, that's not the same thing. No, that's the organic food is the equivalent of the plant-based Amy products.
Sorry?
See, the meat is the meat-based Amy products, or the dairy-based, and the organic plants, which is from poop, that's the plant-based products of the company. It's the exact same thing. One company has plant-based products and animal products. If you don't buy the stabbed animals, then there's no need for stabbing animals.
So I'm hoping that Amy's is not organic, but basically we're not talking just about plant-based, because you can have a product that is 100% plant-based, but it could be organic. So again, it's just, you're basically supporting the animal holocaust industry by buying that product. I know there's no animal products in that product, but it's still creating more demand.
It's the same thing. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, we're just going in circles here. Like you're just saying something that I disagree with, and you're disagreeing with me. It's just going back and forth. The same.
You're not telling me how it's creating less of a demand now. You're saying that
let me ask you a very easy question, and you answer yes or no. You try doing that, okay? So if nobody buys meat, dairy, eggs, leather, any reason that you would stab an animal, if nobody buys any of those products, is there a Holocaust?
Well, I mean, of course, there's not going to be a Holocaust, but that's not the situation we're in at the moment. At the moment,
of course it is. I just explained to you how that is the situation. If everybody stopped being meat eaters, that would be the situation, like that.
Well, we're not there at the moment.
That's what would happen.
At the moment.
No, we're not there at the moment. I would like a lot of things to happen at the moment. I wouldn't like there to be pets.
Well, at the moment, Logan, if you let me talk, at the moment, people are still buying vegan. People are buying vegan products, not buying animal products, but they're still creating more demand for animal products to be cheaper by supporting organic. Because as I've told you, and as I've showed you evidence for, we can be almost certain that those organic foods are coming from industries that supply fertilizer from the animal agriculture industries. We can be almost 100% certain. I mean, it's at least 96% certain. And
see, what you're not understanding is a company can become ethical if you don't buy the unethical products, right?
What?
If you don't buy any unethical products, then they don't have any unethical products by supply and demand. And that's what you would do with every company.
And I'm saying that organic isn't ethical. That's my whole argument.
Because of poop.
Because the poop is coming from Holocaust victims.
Okay, but it doesn't have to, because if you stopped buying the meat, they wouldn't get stabbed. It's like two separate purchases.
But by buying organic, you're making... I've literally just walked you through this.
I've literally just walked you through. I know you could say you walked me through it a bunch of times. Like, I'm walking in.
You refuse to concede, so I'm going to walk you through.
So you refuse to concede.
I'm going to walk you through again because.
Okay. Fine. Great.
Because
the audience.
Organic is carnist, right? So, 96% of the time, okay, those fertilizers are coming from the animal holocaust industries, correct?
Plants are coming from grocery stores, correct?
Well, answer my question.
Yeah.
Answer my question.
Same answer as a grocery
store. When I ask you a question, I expect an answer. This is just rude not to answer my question. when I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to walk you through.
You literally said the same thing
argument
96 times.
I want to make sure, because I don't think you're understanding my argument.
I don't think you're understanding. I don't think you're understanding.
I'm just going to walk you through again, if you'll let me, so that you can understand my position.
Because it's so complicated. If nobody pays for animals to get stabbed, no animals get stabbed. But that's somehow complicated.
But that's not what's happening at the moment, because the world isn't vegan yet.
Of course it's not. But that's what you would promote. You would promote to people not to stab animals. You should also promote organic foods for health.
I'm gonna put it a different way to you, if that's okay. I'm gonna just put it in another way, and then hopefully it'll land with you. Okay, let's just say that there was a human holocaust of humans. Okay, and somehow by buying the plant-based products, you were creating more demand for that human holocaust to take place, like that their shit was fertilizing your plant-based foods. Would you say that you would still buy the organic option or the conventional option? Which one would you choose, do you think, if you knew that the organic option was supporting the human holocaust?
Well, that's a weird scenario. So you're saying all plants in the world, you're saying, hold on, Jesus Christ. You're saying all plants in the world are fertilized by human shit. Like that's what you're saying. And there's just a human agriculture, and no animals are shitting on anything. It's just all humans.
Yeah, let's just say that the human shit was coming from 96% of the time was coming from human holocaust industries. Let's just say, like, certain humans, they were fine to just.
I thought you were pro human shit on plants. Didn't you say that earlier?
The shit itself is not the problem. It's the.
Okay, there you go. So then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with humans shitting on plants. I'm not okay with humans getting stabbed though. So there's two different.
Logan, why are you missing? Why is this? Let me just say.
Why are you missing the point that they're two different things?
I've just painted you a picture. There's a human holocaust going on. Humans in the factory farms, all right?
That's terrible.
The shit, which is the byproduct from that industry, is now going on the crops that are going into the food that you eat.
That's a shame. That's a shame that it comes from Holocaust, but I'm okay with the shit.
In this hypothetical,
it's a shame that it comes from people getting stabbed. It doesn't have to, though.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, so I'm not going to support that part. I'm not going to support the stabbing
in this scenario.
But me and you both agree that the shit is okay.
In this scenario, humans are being stabbed, and the shit that
I'm not okay with that part.
From those victims is going on is fertilizing your food. Are you okay with supporting that industry? Yes or no?
Well, now you're saying industry.
Yeah.
First you said Holocaust. Now you're saying industry. So now you changed the argument.
It's a human Holocaust.
So are you asking if I'm supporting the Holocaust, or are you asking if I'm supporting the actual industry?
So I'll just tell you the hypothetical one more time, just to make it clear. Okay, so in a hypothetical where we have an industry that is using human beings exploitatively, and from that industry, and they're being stabbed at the end of it. The shit that's coming from that industry, from those victims that are stabbed to death by the end of their, whatever lifespan they may have, let's just say, I don't know, 4 years or something. The shit that's coming from those victims is fertilizing your food. And by buying those foods, you're creating more demand for that to happen, to make whatever products that's coming from those humans cheaper. Would you say that you are morally obliged to avoid those products that are supporting more of that human holocaust to take place, or not?
You're just making all kinds of assertions that supporting fertilizer somehow supports stabbing, and they're two different things. And I've been through this 76,000 times already. I don't get why you're not getting this. It's like going to the grocery store, which is a big bad industry, and saying, well, if I buy these plants, then they're going to have more money, and then they're going to be able to sell other things cheaper. So therefore, people are going to somehow eat more meat. Their stomachs are going to get bigger, and they're just going to get thirsty for meat. And they're just, no, you just don't buy the meat. That's how it works. And then they don't sell it. It's that simple. And we haven't even got into anything else. Like we've just been on the same point over and over and over again, and it's ridiculous.
No, you're not following. You're not following.
Yeah, I'm not just going to agree with you. Yeah, just for the sake of just saying you're right. That's not just how things work. Like you think like debates people are just like I watched the one debate you did with the guy who has the Logic channel there, and you just ask people to just like you just think people should agree with you.
This is irrelevant. This is off topic.
No, it isn't. You're saying like you have to agree with me before we move on.
What's my position?
No, I don't.
Can you restate my position? What I've just said. Tell me what my position.
Okay, so you're saying that when somebody buys fertilizer, that supports the animal agriculture industry.
Not fertilizer, vegan organic foods.
Okay, which have fertilizer on them. Right?
Well, I mean, when they're to grow them, yeah.
Okay.
It'd be weird if there was fertilizer like shit in food. That would just be awful.
Okay. So, anyways, if somebody buys the products that have had fertilizer on them, that supports this evil industry and somehow makes meat cheaper, and all these people buy more meat. And so, therefore, you're a carnist if you eat organic plants. I could say that about you. So you go to the grocery store, or you go to some store, and some guy sells one product. Then he also has another product. You buy the one product that's vegan. You gave this evil guy money. Now he's going to sell the other thing cheaper, and so therefore you're not vegan anymore.
Wait. So do you understand how organic creates more demand for? More animals.
God. You're going to say the same shit over and over and over again. This is ridiculous. You're just repeating yourself.
So what did I say? What did I say about how?
I just repeated what you said. Can we move on to something else?
Why does it create more demand? What did I say about that?
You said because for whatever reason they're going to sell it cheaper than it already is, which it's already cheap as hell because it's subsidized.
What's the reason why they'll sell it cheaper?
What's the reason why they sell it cheaper? Because they make money off the fertilizer.
Yeah, they make a profit from the fertilizer.
Other stores make money off of vegan products.
So do you agree?
And non-vegan products.
Wait, we can talk about that. I want to talk about that. But do you can you just like just stay on this?
Can I just say that you're right? Yeah. You're always right. Everything you say is right.
Wait. Okay. So do you agree then that the profit that they make creates more demand for more animal products?
This is what I don't get. This is what I really don't get. This debate is for you. Okay, this isn't for like the actual listeners to decide on which points that they think are better. This debate is for you to have some sort of accomplishment and be like, I won something.
Do you agree?
Like you don't want to actually get the truth out. You want to just have some sort of glorious victory as some sort of debater or something. This is YouTube live stream, okay? You're not going to get a trophy afterwards if I concede every point.
Logan, I'm not interested in the meta. Do you agree that the animal agriculture industry are making profits out of their shit or not?
You're repeating the same thing over and over again.
Do you agree that they are or not? Are they making?
Do I agree that the animal agriculture industry is making product off of crap?
Profit,
yes, for the billionth time. That doesn't mean anything though. That's not like, oh, now I prove my point.
If they're making a profit from the shit that they're selling onto organic, is that gonna create more of a demand for the animal products if it lessens their production costs? Because they're just going to offset it with their production costs.
Let's just say because we've gone over this 76 times. Let's just say you are right. Can we move? For the sake of this conversation, let's just say you are right. So what we do next is we buy foods that poison people instead. That's your solution.
So yeah, we could talk about that, but I just want you to. This is important because this is about morality, right, and ethics, which is really important.
So you would poison yourself and your children for morality to save an animal. Maybe it saves an animal or something because like the price goes down a penny or something, right? If the price goes down 1 penny, you save an animal, but then you poison you know, how many people in that study did they say? Hundreds, thousands, whatever. You give all those people cancer because you wanted to save a couple animals. That's reasonable.
Okay, I don't think that there's any good data. I mean, you can show me like how is it really significantly
How many people got cancer?
cancer, but
Oh, cancer.
do you agree that it's gonna make more of a demand for the animal agriculture industry if they're able to make a profit out of their shit?
Oh my God. My God.
Do you agree with that point? Does that make sense? Does it make sense?
No.
Well,
They make more profit. Of course, the business makes more profit off of poop when they sell poop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to just keep repeating this over and over again?
So if they are able to,
I don't get it.
If they're able to offset that profit and to lessen their production costs for their business, that means that they're gonna be able to create more of those products, right? They're going to make more. They're going to be able to like breed more animals into existence for one. It's going to be cheaper for them to like their energy costs, like and everything like that. They will offset it with the running the business, which is going to, at the end of the day, it's going to make the actual product itself. They're going to be able to make it cheaper for everyone to sell in the supermarkets.
I don't like if I say whatever I think, you're just gonna repeat yourself. I don't like this is just I've already answered this 77 times. Like it's just I'm just at a loss for words
So
now.
do you agree that is the case? That would be the case?
Oh
Does that make sense?
Like, can we move on? This is boring. I don't want to sit here for another hour just saying the same thing over and over again because you want some glorious victory. This is like, do you even like, are you even listening to what I'm saying? Because you're asking the same thing over again and you're expecting a different answer. Like at least reword what you're saying or something. Let me walk you through the exact same thing over and over again.
Yeah, because I feel like it makes a lot of sense, and I think it will make sense to everyone that's watching this.
No.
And listening to this, that when you're supporting something that creates more demand for the thing that you're opposed to, and you have another option as an alternative,
it doesn't create more demand. That's your assertion. You're just saying that.
I can show you how I can literally.
I know you can. You just said it 77 times, but it doesn't add up. Because my easy answer to what you're saying is if people stopped stabbing animals for meat and milk and eggs, there would be no stabbed animals. The poop doesn't matter.
So we're not in that world yet where everyone's vegan.
We're not in that world yet. Okay, we're not in the world where people are vegan, so just don't worry about it.
So what we want to
let's only live in the world that we're in right now. Let's not talk about what should be done.
What is it like? Is it like 1% of the population is vegan at the moment? Is that what the figure is at the moment? Is it something like 1%?
Okay. But how does that change if what does that have to do with I promote vegan activism to people, they go vegan and then nobody stabs animals? That has nothing to do with it. Okay, how does it let me explain this. How does it get there faster? Let me finally ask you a question. How does it get there faster? Let's say the world 1% of it is vegan, right?
Yeah.
All the vegans stop buying okay, listen. All the vegans stop buying shit. There's still 99% of the world left eating meat. You think they're going to stop eating meat because because we stop buying shit? They're going to stop eating meat. They're still going to eat meat unless they, get told to go vegan and they understand it and then they go vegan. The demand is still there for those animals to be stabbed. It doesn't change unless the person goes vegan. If the shit doesn't matter.
If we're making the products cheap, if the 1% of vegans in this world, if we are making those animal products cheaper for the carnists to buy more of, then I would suggest that's not a very vegan thing to do. We should be making it harder for these industries to sell their shit, to make those products more expensive to the retailer.
Let me ask you this. Why is the animal agriculture the only bad industry when all these other ones sell animal products just like them? You're just pinpointing this one company and being like, don't buy anything else they sell.
Because
but at grocery stores, that's okay because that's different.
Because by buying organic products, we are creating more demand for more organic products and for more animal products.
Which isn't animals being stabbed.
And we're creating more demand for animals for being stabbed because we're those products cheaper. So therefore, because the products are cheaper, more people are going to buy them. And when more people buy products, that means the demand for the product goes up, which means that more animals are bred into existence and there'll be more victims. But when we would,
so you think if burgers went up 5 cents, they up the price of burgers tomorrow 5 cents. You think people are going to stop eating burgers? You really think that? They'll pay the 5 cents. Trust me.
Oh, okay. Well, I can show you how the actual figures. Like I've worked it out, done the maths. I can show you like how much profit they. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So you're going to show me how much profit they make off poop? That doesn't mean anything. I could show you how much profit the grocery store makes off plants. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay. So
what does it mean? You're jumping to all these conclusions. Like somehow this proves a point. It doesn't prove anything.
What? So if I show you figures that I've worked out to show how much profit the animal agriculture industries are making from vegans, and if it was significantly more than when you buy conventional products.
You know why this sounds like you almost have a good argument is because you're just using the word animal agriculture, and then everybody pictures like some evil corporation. Oh, they're so evil. But all these other people sell meat too, but then it's okay to support their other products, right? Even though they might get cheaper, their other products, like the animal products they sell, because now they can, spend more money on doing other things. They could advertise more. People are going to go like picture this for a second. So I own a store, right? I got all these. I'm selling mangoes over here. I get all these people to buy my mangoes. You come in my store, you buy 20 mangoes. Thanks for supporting me. You know what? Now I'm going to buy all this advertising for my meat sign over there. Now all these people are going to come in and buy meat from me. You're not vegan anymore.
I would suggest that when you create plant-based products and you're a company that sells animal products as well, if the majority of your customers are buying the plant-based products, that's going to create more of a demand for those plant-based products and less of a demand for your animal products. Therefore, you're going to produce less animal products.
I'm going to blow my brains out.
Would you agree?
I think I'm just going to go put a shotgun in my mouth.
Do you agree with that? So if their business
I agree with putting a shotgun in my mouth right about now. Just ending it all.
What do you think? What do you think? Is that going to create more of a demand for if you're buying more plant-based products from that?
Can we talk about something else for the sake of everybody's sanity?
I'm really interested in this though. This notion that if you're
interested in the same sentence,
if you're supporting an animal holocaust by buying more of the things that are going to create more demand for it that you're directly opposed to, then I would suggest then you shouldn't do that. If there's an alternative,
so you're not a vegan either, right? You're not a vegan either because you've never shopped at a fully vegan place before. So you've helped them sell their other animal products. So you're not a vegan. You're a carnivore. You're making it crazy unreasonable to try to be a vegan.
Can you let me respond?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when I buy the animal product, I'm tired, sorry, it's like midnight and I've got to go to bed soon.
No wonder you're tired. You've been saying the same thing for an hour.
This is important to me because ethics are really important to me and veganism is really important to me. And I really want people to take veganism seriously. And I want, if vegans are supporting something that they are directly opposed to.
Like poisoning themselves.
I think that we should not be creating more demand for the thing that we are opposed to. And
you know what else I mentioned in my video that you really don't want to talk about is all the environmental issues about GMO and non-organic stuff, like killing all the bees and the soil and the greenhouse gases.
You don't have to buy GMO food if you're not buying organic. You can just choose.
You would put GMO over organic though, right?
Oh, if I don't have a choice.
So you're pro basically Monsanto, which is Bayer now. They're a totally evil corporation that tried to put a patent on pigs, but you're in favor of supporting them.
Okay, well, I mean, I just buy the conventional food.
Oh, okay. Like, so you have to like go somehow figure like how many plants are left in your store? You can't buy organic, you can't buy GMO. I would think like there's going to hardly be anything left. The other ones you're going to really unknow. Like this one, like I just said, you'd have to Google it, and it says probably. You don't even know.
And that's interesting, Logan. But I really want to get back on topic. I really want to just go back to.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about what's practical. You wouldn't want to talk about what's practical or good for the environment. That's crazy. Let's talk about this dumb ethics thing again. Let's go back. Bring it back.
Practical. Yeah, it's possible. It's totally possible and practicable to buy the conventional products over the organic products when you go to.
Yeah, you just got to call. You just got to call every company. That's practical.
Well, no, you could just see that. You could just read the label. If it's got organic, then you just avoid it. Just go for the conventional.
Okay, and then if it's got GMO, yes, let's poison everybody. Let's kill the bees.
You can avoid GMO too, and there's other options too.
Okay, and then you got to call the rest because you're not sure what they are. Right? You just got to call every company. So it's not practical. But go on.
Yeah, you can do, but I'm sure there's. I mean, where I'm from the UK, and I can see whether something's organic or not, and I can just choose the one that's not organic. So that's what I do.
But then you'd go with the GMO, which poisons people.
No, I try and avoid GMO, but
You try to.
I mean, the jury's out on GMO. I mean, we could talk about that, but I mean,
you're a type of person like the tiniest little things, like so there's some vegans out there that'll go like there's some shoes that might have animal products. Hold on, there's some shoes that might have animal products in it, or there's like these traces of this or whatever that might be in there and stuff like that. You're like the type of person that would just avoid everything because it has to be perfect, right? Like you're basically, tiptoeing around, not trying to squash bugs.
No, because
like you're unreasonable. You're not practical.
No, it's totally practicable to avoid the organic and just pick up
and GMO. So you don't care about poisoning yourself, though. Let's get that clear to the audience.
Stop
that you don't care about poisoning yourself.
Stop straw manning me. Are you gonna let me speak?
Well, you said you buy GMO, though.
I said I don't have to buy GMO to avoid organic.
No, you don't have to, but you'd buy it over organic because you're cool. You'd rather poison yourself than potentially have crap in your food.
So
that doesn't sound appealing.
I care about ethics, and I don't want more Holocaust victims because of my choices. Because of my
so you're on an island. You're on an island with you and your kid, right? You have say you have a 5-year-old daughter like me. You would give your 5-year-old daughter a glass of poison that might kill her, might give her cancer in the future, over potentially using feces from an animal on plants. Like that's not. I could just
choose the conventional. I could just choose the conventional.
You could,
and I do.
If you called every company in the store, you spent 5 hours in the grocery store trying to find out if it was conventional.
Logan,
that would be,
Can I get my point across? Like I can just avoid GMO.
Just repeat the. I'm trying to say new things here. You're just repeating yourself. But go ahead.
I can avoid GMO. That's fine, and I could just choose the conventional. And you can, give me the evidence for the GMO, whatever. But I'm not really. We could talk about that, but let's talk about that later because what I'm really interested in at the moment is just the ethics of the situation. Now, when I ask you, like, if there was a human Holocaust and if the food that you were buying was perpetuating more of that Holocaust to take place,
it's not. It's not.
If it were,
it is not. You've already conceded when I said when I said if everybody stops buying the meat, then no animals get stabbed. You've conceded that.
If the products.
So how is crab supporting the stabbing?
If the products
makes no sense.
Product that you were buying was perpetuating more of a human Holocaust, would you buy it or not?
It's a dumb question. It's not even relevant.
If the product that you were buying was perpetuating more of a human Holocaust, would you buy it or not?
No, but what you're talking about isn't perpetuating the Holocaust.
So
it's not the same thing.
If the products that you're buying that perpetuated more of the human Holocaust that you was literally, you were creating more demand for that product because that company was they were getting more of a profit, okay, by selling the shit from that industry, and if they offset that with their other costs, and it made the product cheaper, and therefore more people buy that product. Would you say that it's ethical to buy that product or not, if the industry in question was a human Holocaust industry?
I don't know. I zoned out there for a second. It's the same. Somebody's ask yourselves asking a question. Could I answer his question instead? You're just saying the same thing over and over again. Well, yeah, it might be a new question. It's probably an actual good question.
How is it not making sense to you? Like if
oh, it's making sense to me perfectly.
Yeah, so
it makes perfect sense.
If your business, if you're making more of a profit out of something, which
it's not like you have to repeat it. I heard what you said. It registers in my ear exactly what you're saying. It all makes sense. What you're saying. It's just it doesn't add up.
What doesn't add up?
Poop and stabbing, two different things. Just like buying plants and buying eggs are two different things.
Do you understand there's a link?
I say the same company might own both, but if you only buy the plants, you turn the company ethical by supply and demand. That's how it works.
So do you agree there's a link between the shit and the stabbing though? Do you I've just told you where the link is.
Okay, sorry. He said he's asking something to the chat and not me.
So is there a link between shit and stabbing in the animal Holocaust industry?
It's the same. It's the same link between buying Lara bars at your grocery store or buying a steak.
It's the exact same link. When you buy Lara bars, you're not creating more demand for the animal product. You're creating more demand for the Lara bars.
And if you don't buy the stabbed animals, you could still have animals shit on plants. That's fine with me. They could walk around and shit. It's all good. I don't get what you're not understanding about my answer. Like it's not like instead of rebuttaling what I'm saying, you're just repeating yourself. And that's why it's getting annoying for me, because you're not like, well, you're wrong because of this. You're just saying, well, let me repeat everything that I just said. And then I give the exact same answer again. Do you see where we're not like, you don't have a good rebuttal for what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you're creating more of a demand for something, though, that you're directly opposed to,
it's not a more demand. It's not
more demand when you're getting a profit from selling the shit.
Listen, again, if nobody bought the stabbed animals, there would be no demand at all. And it has nothing to do with the poop.
That's irrelevant.
You could have the poop there. Okay, you could have the poop there, or you could have the poop not there. It doesn't matter if it's there or if it's not. If nobody buys the stabbed animals, they don't sell the stabbed animals. Whether the poop is there or not. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but
if the poop is there or not, nobody buys them.
If nobody buys any animal products, then the world is vegan.
Yeah, that's what we want, right? That's what we want.
So we want a vegan world more quickly. So we want to do everything we can to lessen the demand for those animal products. And by
wait. How do people stop eating meat though? When say you quit. Here's a perfect example.
Do you agree that we should create a vegan world as quickly as possible by not creating more demand for animal products? Do you agree with that?
Okay. I agree with it, but not in the way that you're saying it, because you're conflating the two like they're the same thing, as in poop is like I said, animals can poop, and they don't need to be stabbed for it. They can walk around and poop on plants.
But in the animal agriculture industry,
that's what they do.
They are stabs for it. Do you agree?
I know. Yes. Just like meat is at the grocery store, but I still go to the grocery store. So right? I still go to the grocery store.
So animals are stabbed. The poop is put onto is used as fertilizer, and That doesn't have to be that way. We could choose. We could have the shit that doesn't come from the animal agriculture industry, but 96% of the time that isn't happening, right? So therefore, if you've got a choice not to buy those products and choose the conventional products which aren't perpetuating that demand, you should choose the ones that aren't perpetuating that demand.
You can do whatever you want. I think the people understand both of our arguments. I don't know why we have to repeat them over and over again, unless you have like a new point to add to it or something.
Okay, so let's ask the chat. Let's ask the chat.
Appeal to popularity. Half of them are from your Discord with Dr. What's his face over there, who are you invited them all over. Let's ask them.
Not everyone
That's
from
fair.
The Discord. Not everyone from the Discord doesn't eat organic though. Some of them do. So put a 1 in the chat if you think that.
Okay.
That. Put 1 in the chat if you think that you're creating more of a demand for animal products if you're using the shit from the animal holocaust industries as a fertilizer.
You know what?
And put a 2.
You said, okay, listen to this.
Put a 2 in the chat.
Well,
if you don't think it's going to create more demand.
They get it. Okay, so let's take instead of taking animal agriculture as a company, let's take Monsanto or Bayer as a company, right? So Bayer sells GMO crops, and you would buy the GMO crops over the organic crops, you said, right? Like if you had to, you would buy GMO over organic. But GMO crops go to animal agriculture, right? So if you buy those GMO crops, they could have more money for advertising and sell to animal agriculture at a cheaper rate. You're supporting animal agriculture by buying GMO crops.
You're straw manning because I've already said.
How is that strong? That's the same goddamn argument you just said.
I've already said that if you give me evidence to say that GMO is doing that, then I'll be fine. Okay, I'll
wait.
Stop
what? You don't think they feed GMO crops to animal agriculture?
But yeah, they do. Actually,
okay, so you're supporting that industry,
and those GMO crops that are feeding the animals. Actually, yeah. So actually, that's a point. So organic animals, they don't have to be eating organic food, right? Oh no, hang on. So, wait a minute. Yeah, no, sorry. The fertilizer.
So you're in favor.
The fertilizer coming from to go on to. Organic.
What is the fertilizer
that goes onto
what
the
are they pooping out? What are they pooping out?
Doesn't necessarily come from organic animals. Yeah. It can come from any animal.
They're pooping out GMO plants that you're supporting.
And that can be used as organic fertilizer.
You're a dirty carnist. You're supporting the GMO industry that's in charge of feeding animal agriculture, which makes the fertilizer.
You're straw manning me because I don't have to eat GMO. I could just choose conventional.
Good luck with that. Good luck.
So.
Hey, you know what? I eat conventional. I eat GMO. I eat organic, right? I'm buying whatever's practical, right? I also don't have $1,000 to go to the grocery store and start going like this at all the conventional products there. I'm buying whatever's on sale because I have to feed 3 children at home, right? I'm not buying the stabbed animals because once everybody stops buying those, then animal agriculture goes away. Problem solved.
Well, you could say that about the dairy industry as well, though, couldn't you? You could say that once people stop buying the meat, then
dairy is like the main product, though. Dairy is the main product, and then that also creates veal, and that also creates torture.
You don't have to have
animals cropping isn't torture.
Don't have to have veal to support dairy. You could have. Some people say there's ethical dairy, right?
I believe that I am forgotten.
So
you're supposed to be moderating.
I know. I was just like, I haven't even said a word.
Sorry, man. Sorry. What do you want? What does Broski want to say? Let's give Broski the floor for a second.
I mean, after all what I've been hearing, it's just like it's been just going back and forth. It's just like, well. Like organic side shows that like, well, if you support that, it's going to cause more. It's like you're contributing to more suffering. And it's like, well, if you don't eat non-organic, it's like it does less suffering. So it's like, well, then again, it's like it's still the same thing. The thing is, it's just like we just don't have to eat meat-based food.
Yeah, you're not supposed to agree with me though. Moderator, you can't agree with me.
I can't.
Wait.
You have to say something good about banana now.
So, Broski, do you understand how creating more of a demand for a product by the industry making a profit out of selling their fertilizer, and then you buying that is not a vegan thing to do?
Again, you're saying the same thing. You're saying the same thing. The GMO companies are making a profit off of selling their grains to animal agriculture. I'm sure conventional farms make money off animals too. Like you're saying, no conventional farms make money off animals? That's ridiculous. And you don't even know unless you call them and ask the guy who owns the farm.
Okay.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
Well, can I post you another study? Let me just go to Twitter just to clarify a point. And maybe this might move on the debate a little bit more as well, and you might understand a little bit better where I'm coming from. Let me just find the study. Here we go. I'll just load this up. Oh, I already had it open.
So let me say something while you're looking that up. So I have a problem with like pet ownership. I have a problem with like, using all sorts of animal byproducts all over the place for certain things. Like all these people had the problem with the tallow and the dollar bills and everything like that. All of those small things, like they're not small, obviously, but all of those issues get solved later when everybody goes vegan or half of the world goes vegan, even half of the states goes vegan. Then they start talking about those little things. It's very hard to just change the entire world like that and just be like, oh, I wish everything was like that. And if I find out that organic plants are healthier than GMOs or even conventional, and all these people are not getting cancer and things like that, I want there still to be organic plants. I'm not going to throw all my money at conventional and GMO plants, and then that's the only thing that exists when organic was way healthier. I want the world to go vegan and eat organic plants. It's like if everybody stops eating the organic plants, then they all go away, and now we're eating way unhealthier foods. The world could be way better. You could have your cake and eat it too.
You can have organic food that doesn't perpetuate the Holocaust, but at the moment, that's not where we are. And
I want it to be where it can be. But you want organic food to be abolished. Don't buy it. There's only, 10% of the plants are organic. You want to abolish that when they're the healthiest type of plants that you could eat?
Well, there's no.
You should encourage that. Power to the people.
Where's the data that says that organic is significantly healthier?
I could link you a plethora of studies, but we've been just. I wanted to get to that, but you've just been repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and now you're saying, "Where's the studies?"
When I consider whether organic food is any healthier, what I would look at is, I would consider meta-analysis to be like the king of studies, and I would just.
I wonder where you heard that. I wonder where you heard that before.
I would just take your study and I'll just plug it into the best data I can find and see whether it's accounted for in there, and then I'll just see whether that the analysis of all of the studies would indicate any significance towards saying that organic is actually healthier. So that's what I would do.
Okay, let me. I just linked you a study. Actually, you didn't even talk about it yet. I linked you a study at the very beginning, and then you went on repeating yourself forever, and you didn't even talk about the first study that I linked you. I linked you one. Where is it? It's the very bottom link there on your Twitter DM, and it says, maybe I sent you the wrong thing here.
I mean, I'm
looking at what you sent me. Okay, hold on one sec. Where is it?
Yeah, while you're finding that, in any other kind of industry, let's just say not the animal agriculture industry, but any industry where if they make a profit by outsourcing a byproduct.
How come you're going back to that when we were just going to talk about studies?
Because I'm interested in UK.
You just said let's talk about studies, and then now you're going back to that.
Because the debate
you're like, well, let's not talk about your studies. Let's go back to what I was saying.
Well, the main point of the debate is organic as carnist. Changed my mind.
So, okay, so you'd be willing to drink a bottle of poison to save an animal. You're in a league of your own with maybe about 5 other crazy vegans.
Well, I haven't seen any significant data to show that.
I'm sending you studies. You're going back to what you're talking about. You're ignoring the studies that I just sent you.
Well, okay. Can you tell me? Can you just sum up why conventional is poisonous?
Okay, well, there's a lot of reasons. One of them is cancer, obviously. Well, conventional. So specifically, the study that I was sending you, there was some that shows that organic is healthier than conventional and GMO. And then there's some studies that I sent you showing how bad GMO is because you put GMO over organic to buy, right? And then now you're saying, well, screw GMO. Let's only talk about organic. Conventional now. So now we're not talking. Now we're just not talking about GMO anymore. Now it's just conventional.
So tell me, how am I poisoning myself by buying conventional?
Okay, I'm not saying specifically you're going to poison yourself with conventional. I'm saying organic is healthier than both options.
By what percentage?
What do you mean? Like in what regards?
Oh, like saying it has something, saying it's healthier. It's just that doesn't.
Well, I mean, like in regards to disease prevention.
Okay, so what? I mean, to tell me.
Again, I could link you studies, but you just skipped over the one I just sent you. You're not even talking about it. You skipped it over. Why am I sending you studies when you're just saying I don't even want to talk about it?
Tell me about the study.
The study I just sent you? Well, you could open it up and look at it. I'll tell you what it's about. Yeah, I've looked at it. You want to hear about it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let me pull it up here. Give me a second.
Okay, I've really got to go to sleep soon, but well, let's go for another like 15 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll talk about this study, and then, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of studies. I suggest, this is what I suggest, okay? This is what I suggest, because this is going to be ridiculous, the amount of studies we'd have to go through if you have to go soon. I just did a stream on my channel where I gave all the links to all the things that I just looked at, and you could see the titles on the screen, the articles, everything. I referenced a podcast that Gregor did, and I showed the transcript of it with all the studies that he talks about and the links to them.
Gregor's a vegan shill.
Everybody wants to reference Gregor's studies until they contradict their own views, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to talk about Gregor anymore.
Gregor's an organic shill.
Okay.
You go to open up Wikipedia, and I'll show you.
Try to find me one. Try to find me one plant-based scientist. Try to find me one plant-based scientist, cardiologist, anything that's highly regarded, that has awards, anything, published papers, anything that says organic is not the healthiest.
Okay.
Try to find me one.
Yep. Just bear with me. I'll find you.
Scientific consensus.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if you watch that Joel Kahn Kresser debate, right? Where Joel Kahn's talking about how all of these highly regarded organizations, the World Health Organization, all these things, like he names like about 10 of the biggest organizations in the world, and they all agree that this is the amount of saturated fats that you should have. He's saying like, oh yeah, they're all wrong. After reviewing all of these studies and everything, they're all wrong. That would be the biggest conspiracy of all time. That's the same thing as this. If this is like, you guys are like promoting like the biggest conspiracy of all time, trying to say that organic is way unhealthy compared to these other things. It's not even true. When every scientist like known says that it is. But go ahead. I'm sure you can find like some obscure guy that nobody's heard of who's just a regular ass MD with no nutrition training.
I've sent you 2 studies. Oh no, wait a minute. Have I sent you the right ones? I'm tired. I may not have sent you the right ones. Oh yeah. Oh no, hang on a second. So you think that organic food is healthier? It's gonna make you live longer, right?
Why don't we ask the chat?
Well, what do you think?
Of course.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you? I don't know why you would think it wouldn't. Is there a reason why you think it wouldn't?
So I mean, if you're on a plant-based diet and you're eating whole foods and you're like a healthy plant-based diet, you know, like less oil, less saturated fat, loads of whole foods, but they aren't organic, you're gonna live for longer? Then
So you're asking me very specific, obscure things, and then you're going to be like, "Do you have a study with outcome data that proves that exact thing that I just
yeah, that's quite important. That would be important.
just randomly said? When you do these exact 7 steps, do you have a 50-year study on that? Come on.
Well, I mean, is there any outcome-based data that would say that like vegan is? Oh, sorry.
I just explained if anybody. I just explained if anybody wants to see all the studies that I just talked about, which is I just made this video today quickly, just looking up studies. Like these are all brand new studies and all these things from recent.
But
people can look at it. People can look at the plethora of information out there by every plant-based doctor talking about how organic is healthier, and they can look at all of their studies as well. And it's all on my channel.
Are they plant-based? Are they eating plant-based though? In the studies?
Who? Gregor? You don't think Gregor's eating plant-based? You don't think McDougall? You don't think Joel Kahn, Furman?
The studies that you posted, the studies that you're posting, do they account for what types of food they're eating? I know that they're organic, but are these studies?
Gregor probably just made up a whole hour-and-a-half podcast, but we'll never know.
Do they account for animal products or not? Are they just?
No,
are they just?
Are you asking every? Of course, every study is different. You have to look at the broad plethora of information. You can't just be like, show me one study that says everything perfect, because those studies don't exist. You don't have that study, so why are you asking me for that study? You know what? I gave you a study that showed that GMO or anything that's not organic increases your risk of cancer. You gave me nothing in return except a study that said, well, this one broke even.
Oh, no, I can go back to that actually, because I can show you how it actually increases. Well, that study
read the conclusion. Just read the conclusion of the study. What they concluded.
The actual if you look at the breakdown of the actual results.
Yeah, you can try to interpret it in your favor, but I mean the actual conclusion, it says what they concluded.
Well, it shows more of a prevalence of the risk of cancer, of breast cancer, though, and just that subsect of breast cancer. If you read that.
And then there's got to be things on the other side that show that there was something bad on the other side, which is why it ended up even.
Oh yeah, but there's more risk of breast cancer with eating organic in that study. It shows that.
According to that one study, right? But if you look at the plethora of information of all the things that I showed in my video, people, again, this isn't for me, this isn't for you, this is for people to find out the truth. Now, the reason why I'm upset about why people are saying don't eat organic and only eat GMO or conventional is because if organic is the healthiest and you completely wipe it off the market, now everybody's eating crappier foods, right? And becoming unhealthier, which is unethical. Also, the environmental damage that we didn't get into at all shows that it's completely worse for the environment to eat in all these other ways. And so on top of that, if you wipe that out, and destroy the planet, that kills animals, that kills humans, that kills all these things. You could have the best of both worlds if people just stopped stabbing animals and then just ate organic plants.
More animals are stabbed when you create more of a demand for the product.
Oh my God. Where's that shotgun? Where's the shotgun?
So just to wrap things up, because I really need to go to sleep.
All right. That was a good debate.
When you create more of a demand for a Holocaust, I would suggest stop buying the products that create more of a demand for that for the Holocaust and for.
You know what? My conclusion. Can I just say a conclusion here, and you could just wrap up with your conclusion? is like I could care less, right? It's like you guys want to, you believe these arguments or you believe her arguments or whose ever arguments, whatever. I'm just saying my piece. I really have no stake in the game. I have no bias. I'm drinking a beer over here. What the hell do I care about, right? What do I really care about? I debate, about raw diets and shit like that. I don't even eat a raw diet. What do I really care about?
Do you
I care about people going vegan and that's it.
Okay.
Now go say your piece.
Yeah, so you care about ethics, right? You
I
care
do.
about morality and you want
shit is cool.
Yeah.
Shit is cool though.
Yeah, shit. I mean, if it's
I'm pro shit.
coming,
don't hold it in.
If it's coming from an industry that perpetuates more of a Holocaust, though, and you create more demand for that to happen, it actually literally just reduces the production costs of that industry, and that's offset in the price. So when something is cheaper, I would suggest if you're making the product cheaper, you are going against your ethics by doing that. You're violating your own principles by doing that when you're actively against it. So therefore, like, what you should be doing is making those products more expensive. And the only way we're going to do that is to boycott organic, because we know, and I've shown you, I've given you the evidence. And I'm going to be making it, like, I'm making a video about this at the moment. It's going to be coming out soon on my channel. So
all right, I'm going to make a video about boycotting grocery stores. Everybody boycott your local grocery store. Only grow plants in your house. All right, shit in your own plants. Don't stab yourself. The beer's not organic.
Let me finish my wrap up here, because I'm getting really tired. So when you, oh shit, maybe losing my train of thought now. Fuck's sake. So what you should be doing as a vegan, okay, is making those products more expensive, because when you make those products more expensive, then then the demand is going to go down. And what we want to do is for the plant-based products to become cheaper, more people to buy them. So we want those plant-based non-organic products to be cheaper, and we want the organic ones to, well, we don't want the organic ones. We want to just tell companies, look, we want to just boycott them, and then for them to understand that we don't want our plant-based vegan foods to be organic. We want to tell these companies, don't do this, because we don't want to be supporting more of the Holocaust by creating more demand for that Holocaust. So that's what I would suggest that we do. I think that's the only ethical thing that it's just, I don't understand how.
The only ethical thing is to become a breatharian or blow your own head off.
Well,
that's the only ethical thing.
Everybody
go anti-natalist. Everybody become anti-natalist. You are just a devouring, eating machine.
And I would add
that
it's totally possible and totally practicable to avoid organic products and just reach for the conventional instead of the organic. Literally the same as when you tell someone you can reach for the plant-based milk instead of the cow's milk. It's exactly the same. All you have to do is to read the label, and if it says organic, just put it down and choose the other thing. It's not organic. It doesn't have to be GMO. It's not a major inconvenience. It's probably about the same inconvenience as when we first went vegan and we had to check all the labels again. It's just doing the same thing. It just takes a bit of getting used to, but in the end, it's fine.
Before I go, if this says 4046 Mexico, how do I find out their phone number so I could call
them? I don't know.
It's pretty reasonable though, right? Maybe I could ask the avocado. Did somebody shit on you? Did somebody? All right, thanks for having me on your channel. Shout out to Broski. Maybe Broski wants to say something at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to add something to that as well, actually, before he left, but he left before. I was going to say with the avocado, because conventional could use a bit of manure, right? Could use a mixture of synthetic and manure. We didn't actually get onto that. And I was going to say that there is, and I posted in my study, which I didn't address it, but about the fact that, there's a certain ratio. There is a ratio based on the study of how much manure is used to the conventional, like a synthetic fertilizer. So, you know, crops could have a mixture of synthetic and manure, but the ratio is the ratio of the manure to the synthetic, like is a lot lower. They're using a lot less manure to the synthetic, and therefore, face of those two options, I would say that you're morally obliged to choose the one that's using less of the manure, right? And that's what I would argue, but oh well. He's gone now, so. But yeah, I'll just say the same thing, that I think if you create more of a demand for a Holocaust to happen, like if we were saying this about like a human Holocaust, we wouldn't support it. We wouldn't want to make that human Holocaust industry create more profit from the shit that they're selling as a byproduct. We just wouldn't do that if we have an option not to. So, and then I would have just pushed him on the health argument that he was going into, because all the data that I've looked at, there's no significant evidence that says that organic is any healthier than conventional, and that's based on like meta-analysis as well. So if you plug in the studies that he's probably, I'll have a look at the studies that he's referenced, but I don't think I'm going to. Oh, he hasn't sent me anything on Twitter. Then I would just plug in those studies into the meta-analysis to see whether they are accounted for, and if they are, then I would just say that, well, I'm just going to go with the overall sort of, you know, what the meta-analysis concludes over the individual cherry-picked studies. So that's where I would have gone with that debate had it carried on. But Broski, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I like the debate. Both arguments were really good. Yours was good as well. I understand that your side was just like the eating non organic was supposedly its causes less suffering, and then versus Logan, it's like contributes to more. So it's like, because what I've always been told is just like, you know, if you go vegan, you do less suffering to the animals, and that's something that I never knew. I thought like, you know, you can either eat just, it doesn't matter if you eat, because that's what I thought, like it didn't matter if you eat like organic or not organic.
Yeah, that's what I used to think as well. Like I used to think that eating organic was somehow better, just because when you see an organic label, you just assume, oh, it's because it's more natural, therefore it's better. And that's just sort of like an appeal to nature, really. And I wasn't really taking that I wasn't really thinking about it. I just saw the label and it's just organic and it's vegan. Oh yeah, that must be better somehow. It must be healthier somehow. But then when I actually looked at the evidence, and it was like, well, there isn't any significant the culmination of all the data, or like a culmination of a lot of data put together. If you look at it in terms of, you know, like the broader picture, there isn't really any significant evidence to say that it is any healthier than the conventional. So therefore, I can't really justify supporting organic anymore, because I can't really say that it's any better for me. There's not really significant evidence to say that it is. So, but there is a lot of evidence to say that it's supporting more of the Holocaust by buying it. You're getting more demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
So just cut it out. And you know, like if you listen to Gregor, he'll say like, you know, if you want a plant-based whole foods diet, then that's going to really improve your life and add years to your life. So isn't.
Yeah, because that's what I was like hearing, like a whole foods plant-based diet is pretty much the only option to be like as of healthy. But then it was just like, well, it's like I always been told that like organic food is always healthy, but it's like the thing about organic food is just like it used to be like non-organic, and then they had to like use chemicals in order to like, you know, spray on it to make it, you know, preservable, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I mean, two things there. I mean, with conventional food, the pesticides used. I mean, one, you can wash them and you can peel them, so there's that. And two, in the for organic food, the organic industry will still use pesticides. It's just that they can't be man-made synthetic pesticides, right? They have to be naturally sourced pesticides, and they can be still very toxic. I mean, they use less of them, but they spread more thinly. But they're actually more toxic as well, because they can't really control it, because it's got to be natural. It can't it's not man-made. So there is that, and obviously if those pesticides are washed off and get into water systems and lakes and whatnot, it's very toxic to aquatic life as well. So there is that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
How long was the debate going for? It was like 2 hours, I think.
I don't know. It's 10 to 1 in the morning now.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I mean, Logan, he just wants to. He's very health conscious,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he just tends to forget about the ethics, because he'll say, "Oh, he'll just straw man me and say, oh, you support GMO then?" I'm like, well, no, I don't have to support GMO to not buy organic, for one. And like, even if he did prove that eating organic is significantly more healthy than eating the conventional, I would still support the conventional, because I am not willing to create more of demand for Holocaust victims. I'm just not comfortable with that. And I would say that we could probably find ways of making the conventional healthier. Well, for one, we could just wash the pesticides off, and if I don't know, like if the conventional was somehow significantly less nutrients, which there isn't any evidence to say that there is at the minute.
Oh, wait, sorry, that was my phone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want to get that? Can I carry on talking? Oh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my parents pick up the phone. My bad. What was your question?
So if the conventional was significantly, like, if it was actually poisonous, then I probably would still go for that over the organic, because I'm still not comfortable with creating more demand for victims to be stabbed.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Yeah.
But we're not. But in the situation we are today, we're not in that situation, because there's not really any significant, like, outcome-based data to say that organic is significantly healthier than the conventional. Mm-hmm. I did post this study to him, but I don't think he's taken. Yeah.
I only got the one study that it was like, what was it? Let me check it out.
I'll post it to you as well, so you can take a look.
That's fine. That's cool. Yeah, just send me that.
And when he was going on about like, you're not letting me, you're just not letting me answer questions, and you talking too much, yada yada yada. I'm like, well, that's because he was going off topic, and I really wanted to just talk about the ethics first and foremost, because, like, the health argument, there is, although there is, there could be some weight towards it, but I think the ethics argument is a lot more important than the health. So that's why I didn't want it to go off topic too much. So I'm gonna hang on a minute, where are we? So I'm gonna post you 2 studies. Oh, wait a minute. Is it one or just? I think it's just one, actually. I'm gonna sound like I'm really rambling now, because I'm actually really, really tired.
You sound really tired. That sounds like
I'm super tired, because I wanted the debate to start a lot earlier, right? Because I wanted to start straight after his live stream. But,
yeah.
I guess, you know, life happens, doesn't it? So
Unfortunately, like the last time, it was just like we were having a debate discussion. It was just like the audio was just pretty bad. I'd never had that problem before.
Yeah, I don't know what happens there. It's a bit strange. It's never happened to me before, but
yeah. But hopefully next time, I'll fix it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where are those studies? I'm just trying to find them.
I actually like to see the debate discussion between Vegan Gains and Joseph Everts.
Joseph who?
I think Vegan Gains like made like a video about like he wanted to debate this one guy. He's like he supports this like ketogenic diet and
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I'd recommend that one. And the other guy, what's his name? Frank. Oh, I can't remember his name. The one with the painted on eyebrows. That guy.
The which one?
The guy that is it the carnivore diet? The guy with the massive black eyebrows. I can't remember his name. Frank. Someone. That was a good debate between him and Vegan Gains.
I just don't understand why they promote the carnivore diet. It's just so like. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I think I found the study now. Let me just open this up, and I'll just send this to you. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Okay. So a systematic review of studies of satisfactory quality. There is, on the basis of systematic review of studies of satisfactory quality, there is no evidence of a difference in nutrient quality between organically and conventionally produced foodstuffs. So this is the review I was going to talk to Logan about. And just, I know that would have probably just given me really recent studies, and that's fine. But I mean, plug into this review most of the studies that say, because there's going to be studies that say that organic is healthier, and it's going to be studies that's going to show that it's not healthier, right? It's going to be loads of different studies, but if they're all of a satisfactory quality and you plug them into this systematic review, it says that there's not really any difference between the two. There's no significant data to say that organic is healthier.
Is this specifically talking about plant-based foods or just regular foods?
Let's see. I think it's plant-based. Well, yeah, just like.
Okay, I'm reading it.
Yeah. Yeah. So from a total of 52,471 articles, we identified 162 studies.
Well, that's a lot.
137 crops and 25 livestock products. Okay, so it is reviewing animal products as well.
Okay.
55 were of satisfactory quality. Okay. In an analysis that included only satisfactory quality studies, conventional produced crops had a significantly higher content of nitrogen. And organically produced crops had a significantly higher content of phosphorus and higher, I don't know what that means, treatable acidity. No evidence of a difference was detected for the remaining 8 of 11 crop nutrient categories analyzed.
I'm sorry, where are you reading on? Like,
this is the results.
The results, okay.
Of the yeah. So this study is called "The Nutritional Quality of Organic Foods: A Systematic Review," published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. So yeah, I mean, I can link this in the description once the video is posted. If anybody gets to the end of the video and wasn't bored up until now.
You sound really tired. I just thought, like,
Yeah, well, I'm just mainly posting it for your benefit, so you can take a look, and because you said that you're interested in both sides of this.
Well, thank you.
And I can post you other stuff as well pertaining to how the jury is still out to say that organic is better for the environment. In fact, you could probably argue that it's worse because obviously the the shit that's coming from the animal holocaust industries. I mean, we know that animal agriculture is a leading cause of greenhouse gas emissions. So you have to sort of account for that. And in most of the studies, when anyone puts out a study that says that organic is better for the environment, there's lots of things you have to take into consideration when reading those studies. Such as, are the studies accounting for the greenhouse gas emissions produced per unit of food or per acre of land? And most of the studies that show that organic is better is using less greenhouse gases and is more environmentally friendly, are saying that it's per meter of land or whatever, per square meter, or per acre, rather than per unit of food. So when you look at it in terms of per unit of food, the organic is coming out way worse, because they have to use more land, obviously, to create the same yield as the conventional, because obviously they can't use as much pesticides. They're using, they're not going to get as much produce from the same amount of land. So they're going to have to use more resources to get the same yield. So there's that. And I can post you studies that show that to back up that. Yeah, those are the two main things. Like, it's the health, the environment. People just think that it's better because it's natural, and also, like Logan was saying, that he was saying that it's like shit doesn't cause a Holocaust. It's like, well, no, yeah, you can get the shit by some other means, like from a sanctuary. I don't really care about shit going on used as fertilizer. I care about where it's come from.
Mm-hmm.
If it's being sold for a profit, and that profit is used to make the production costs of what you sell are cheaper, then I would say that, that you've got an alternative not to do that. You can support something else that isn't causing more demand. Yeah.
And I'll definitely check them out. But thank you for having me on your stream.
Well, thanks for coming on as well. It's nice to meet you, and maybe we'll speak again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to debate this more and talk to other people. Maybe I'll talk to Logan again. We can talk about GMO next time.
Yeah, next time I'll probably host a stream, because I think I'll fix the audio by then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll bring over the people from the Discord to your channel, get more views.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you, and thanks everyone for tuning in and listening to me ramble on. Really tired. Right, I'm gonna go to bed now. But yeah, all right. Take it easy. Bye, everyone.